Good morning. Cheers. Good morning. It's Monday. Gonna be honest with you, I've only had about 4 hours of sleep, but it's Monday morning and I'm not a Monday hater. I'm sorry for those of you out there that are Monday haters. Hi, Amelia, but I'm not a Monday hater. I like Monday morning. I like when I get to attack the week. And I love my job, so it makes Monday easier. Anyways, hello, Colette. I'm going to talk about how I get rid of under eye. I don't get rid of them. They don't go away, okay? I'm just telling you, under eye wrinkles, pores. How to make them look smooth, okay? So throughout the day, you kind of have a softer, smoother look. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, how I do that. Amelia, oh, I love your name. Hello. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And that what works, like I have the perfect combination of what works for under eye. And I have, hi Scott. No sultry today, Scott, but we are doing a little shimmer. We are doing a little bit of shimmer. Okay, so I'm going to show you under eye how to diffuse fine lines and wrinkles. Okay, under your eye area, so you look at it smoother. For those of you that have issues with that area. Hello, Stephanie. I'm also going to show you, what else was I going to show you? Oh, powder. So yesterday I did a tutorial on loose powder foundation, which is awesome. I love it. But I'm also going to show you how to use compressed powder foundation alone. So if you, it's great for summer. I'm going to show you how to use it alone and how to get max coverage with it. Okay, and how to get the best result. Because I know many of you who do not like liquid foundation, but you want the coverage that liquid foundation gives you. So I'm going to show you how to use that with powder. And then I'm also going to show you a Confident Eye, which is a shimmer. Hi, Kylie. A shimmer light bronze. Okay? All right. So cheers. Let's get to this. And I kind of feel like, okay, I'm in Arizona right now. I'm gonna turn this light up a little maybe. Okay. It is raining here. It's a glorious day. It's raining here, which we like because we don't get it very often, but I don't have any natural light coming into my room. So we're gonna do the best we can with this lighting. So here is step number 1, how to get under eye area smoothed out, okay? So first thing that I do, so I've washed my face this morning, so it's nice and clean. There's nothing else on it though, not even moisturizer yet. The very first thing I do is I take this little baby right here. This is a little bit of a magical thing in a little bottle here. It's called Instant Lifting Serum. You know what, you know what, I'll do this first. I'm gonna put it on and then I'll tell you all about it, okay? So what you do is you don't even need a lot, okay? You don't need a lot. You just take a little bit like that. You put it on your fingers, and I just use my pointer fingers, and then you go into this area and you dab it on. Okay? And then I like to put some like right here, because I kind of have some fine lines right there. And then I put whatever's left over on my finger on my forehead. And it's not sticky, it feels like moisturizer, okay? And it dries like moisturizer, but you do want to let it dry for a minute. And I was gonna pull it up on my computer here and read to you exactly what Instant Lifting Serum does and what's in it, okay? Because there is they call it venom, it's squale venom, that actually has the properties to soften that. It kind of, they say it numbs the area. If you were to look up all the scientific stuff, it says it numbs the area, but it doesn't numb the area. You don't have a numb face. But it does soften and diffuse the fine lines, which I love. And it's instant, meaning that it can take up to 2 hours, but you'll see a noticeable difference. Most people think that they're going to feel it, okay? That they're going to feel like a pulling or a tugging on your face or a film on your face. You feel nothing. You feel nothing, okay? And it just looks amazing. So it says, discover the appearance of firmer skin with creamy instant lifting serum. So it's a cream based. And I wanted to go to the, ingredient and tell you what the ingredient was. It's squale venom, but it's called something else. Gosh, the ingredient list, I don't know which one it is. Anyways, okay. That's okay. Hey, Scott. So, Scott, am I going to see you at the mall today? So you put that on first, okay? And what that does, and I can see usually pretty quickly. First of all, it kind of lightens up the area. So if you wake up with bags under your eyes, it lightens up the area and it smooths out the area. Can you see? Can you see? I see it instantly happening, but it could take up to 2 hours, they say, and it stays that way all day. But you want it to dry. So like right now, it's dry. That's how fast it is. So then after I'm done with that, I will put on my moisturizer. So I put moisturizer on every morning, and I am using hydrating moisturizer with SPF. And this one has SPF 20. Even though the sun is not out today, you still are exposed to ultraviolet rays. Just saying. So you want to wear SPF every day. So I do that every morning, you guys. So most of the time I've got that done before I come and sit down and do my tutorials. But that's step number 1 to help diffuse fine lines underneath your eyes. That tends to be for the most women the area that they want to diffuse and soften the under eye area. Okay. So I'm going to show you another way I soften and diffuse the fine lines, but that's going to be step number 2, and that's going to come in a little bit. For now, we're going to skip on to how to use powder foundation. And when I say powder, I'm talking about compressed powder like this. So you can see I use mine a lot. This is compressed powder. It's not loose powder. And I'm going to show you, there's multiple ways to use it, and I'll tell you about those multiple ways, but I'm going to show you how to get max coverage from it. So this is for my girls out there that do not like to use liquid foundation, but they want the coverage that liquid foundation gives you. Okay, so what I'm doing first is I'm putting on primer. So even if it's just powder foundation you're using, you always want to use a primer because a primer is going to help that powder foundation look better on your skin. It's also going to help with coverage, and it helps with making sure that you don't get any creasing, especially if you've got, we're talking about fine lines and wrinkles under the eyes, especially if you've got that area and you tend to crease. A primer is going to prevent that from happening. Okay, so we put the primer on, and then we drink the coffee. Okay, here's the next step. The next step is going to be, if you're using powder foundation for full coverage, I would use concealer underneath. Normally I put concealer on top of my liquid foundation, but I'm going to use concealer underneath my powder foundation because it's powder based, and the concealer that I'm going to use is actually moisture based. And so you don't have to do that. You only need to do that if you've got problem areas that you want to conceal. So you can see, I've got a couple. Yesterday I joked about my planet. Like I have planet. There's like Venus has landed. Is forming on my forehead, but actually it's smaller. But I've got one of those really red ones, and I've got a couple going on right here. I mean, I don't have perfect skin. I have redness. I have uneven skin tone. So I do want to do some correction. So basically I'm going to do some correction using concealer. So for these areas, okay, so this is hyperpigmentation. So this is actually a dark spot. It's not a pimple, but those areas I want to blend in with my foundation and the rest of my face. So I'm going to use concealer that is the same color as my foundation, okay? And then I also, I have some dark circles under here, so we're gonna do some correction underneath my eyes. And the concealer that I will use for that is going to be 2 shades lighter than my foundation. Okay, so you're gonna put on concealer first, and I'm looking for my colors. Okay, so here's my concealer. A little goes a long way. Okay, and again, I typically only put on concealer underneath powder foundation, and you're just gonna get a smoother look, and it's going to help conceal, that's what concealer does, the areas that you want to hide, like those. So what I do is I take my concealer, And I put a little dab on the back of, this is a rose water cap. I just put it on the back of a cap of my rose water because I do that because it helps control the amount that goes on my face. I don't want a ton of product on my face. When you get a ton of product on your face, it feels like you have something on your face, first off. And then second off, it also can create more fine lines and wrinkles because you have too much product on your face. So a concealer brush is key. You can use your fingers. I have really sensitive skin, so I try to avoid putting my fingers on my face because then you're just transferring bacteria. Even if you wash your hands, you're picking up stuff constantly. So if you have a brush, use a brush, and this is a concealer brush. So I'm just dabbing it into the concealer, and you're gonna see I barely like dabbed any because a little goes a long way. And I have a little mirror below you here. And so I'm just gonna dot the areas that I really want max coverage. Do a little more on that one. I also tend to get redness around the nose area, the nostril area, so I'm gonna just make sure that those are also covered. And then you just kind of go in there and blend. And you just pat it, okay? Pat it until it's on your face. Now keep in mind, this is the same color as my powder foundation, so it's not gonna match my face. The color is going to match my skin tone of my chest and neck, okay? That's how you want to color match. Even powder foundation, you want it to match your chest and neck, the areas that get natural sunlight more often, so that you look like your head belongs to your body. Hi, Lisa. And Lisa. So this is just, I'm just kind of blending it onto my skin and covering the red spots. See that? Concealer is more concentrated than regular foundation, so you don't want to use concealer over your whole face, okay? It's too much for your whole face. Those areas. And then if you are someone that are like, I have no idea what color I should be using or what color is correct for my skin tone, you can just message me and I will color match you. I'm an expert at color matching and I will color match you. Okay, that planet might shine through later. It's obnoxious. Okay, so that's on. And then of course, let me put in the comments here because I always behind the ball game here. People ask me, where can I check out the products that you're using? You can go to thicklonglashes.com. That's my website, and that will pull up all the products. Okay. All right, so I've got that on the concealer just to kind of conceal the areas that I want to conceal. You can see that you can't see that redness now. Now I'm going to use concealer that is 2 shades lighter. So I'm using Chiffon for those of you that already use Unique. And you don't have to use Unique, okay? If you've got products already sitting in your makeup drawer, pull them out. Start practicing with what you have. So it's not necessary to have the products that I have to get the result you want. If you aren't getting the result you want from the products you have and you are in the market to try something new, then I would love to introduce you. But I just want you to know every tutorial that I teach, you pull out what you have and try with what you have first. Okay, so I am using, for those of you that do use Unique products or wondering what color, I use Chiffon for the concealer right there, and now I'm using Velour for my under eye area. So I'm going to take my little concealer brush again, and I am going to conceal my under eye area. So I draw a V like that first, and then I'm just going to pull it across. Make sure you get into the inner corner of the eye because that tends to be, the inner corner of the eye creates a shadow effect, which can make it look like you have dark eye area there. And you can see that I've got velour on this side here, and I don't need a lot. Look at how much chiffon I have left. I put too much on here. But I'm going to blend that right away. And you can see how it brightens up my under eye area. Done. See the difference? Hello. Good morning, DJ Wayne. All right, So draw my triangle. You always want your concealer to go down to the top of your cheekbone. Because you don't, the old way used to be a little circle around there, but you don't need to do the circle anymore. It actually blends and looks more natural when you go across the cheekbone. And by the way, you saw me put the Instant Lifting Serum. So the Instant Lifting Serum absorbs into your skin, okay? So there are long-term properties of it too. That's what I love, that it helps prevent the onset of more wrinkles and fine lines happening faster. And you want it to absorb in your skin. You don't want your makeup to absorb into your skin, but you do want the Instant Lifting Serum to absorb into your skin so it does its magic. So when you put product over the top of it, it's not going to make it go away. All right, look at that. See how much different and more awake I look? And I've only had 4 hours of sleep, people. Okay. So now we're going to go right into powder foundation. So what I've done is I've corrected. I did a little bit of correction on my face by covering up the red areas and covering up my under eye area to make it look more bright. Now I'm going to take my powder foundation. Now powder foundation, this is compressed powder. Can be used several different ways. A lot of times powder foundation I use to dust on top of my liquid foundation. And that is just to enhance a matte finish of the liquid foundation. Hi, Sherry. So that's one way to use it. Another way to use it is by itself. You can dust it using a powder puff brush. And that is going to give you the, I'm going to say the least amount of coverage, the lightest coverage. So that might be something great for like a pool day. Like you're going to the pool and you just need to dust a little bit of color on your face. That would be a great way to use powder. Another way to use powder foundation is to get max coverage. And most powder foundations come with like these little sponge guys, right? Mine's kind of gross because I use it all the time. And so this is the sponge. And I'm going to show you how to do that with the sponge. The sponge actually works really well. And a great powder foundation, which is highly pigmented, can provide you max coverage. So my oily girls, this is for you. You have a choice. You can use loose powder foundation, okay, which provides great coverage, or you can use compressed. I'm going to say compressed gives you more coverage than loose powder when used alone, okay, and used with the sponge, okay? So let's do it. You just take your sponge, and here we go. You just put it on. So let's start with my forehead. You just apply it with the sponge. You could, if you wanted even more coverage, like if you wanted max coverage, you could get your sponge damp. I don't even think it's necessary though. It just provides so much coverage by itself. And I'm just going right over everywhere on my face to create an even skin tone. I'll do one side of my face so you can see the difference. In the coverage that it provides. So this is also great for summer. So I live in a very, very, very hot climate in Arizona, for those of you that don't know that. And it's very, 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 very hot. Right now it's very, very, very humid because it's raining. Hi, Terry. So a lot of moisture tends to creep up on my face. So this is great because it actually gives me a very, very matte finish and not a dewy finish, and helps prevent moisture from seeping through on my face. And now don't forget to go down your jawline and onto your neck, because remember, we want it to blend to your body. We want your head to like match your body. Okay. I always forget. So you can look, can you see how I've got, you can see the difference. Look here. Okay, there's just concealer on this side, but I don't have any foundation on. And then when you get to this side, look at how smooth that looks. So that is the coverage you can get from powder. Just powder, people, just powder. And I already know I've got customers that like love this because they don't like liquid foundation. They'd rather use powder foundation, and they can get really good coverage with just powder. And I carry my compact with me all the time. I rarely pull it out because it's rare that I need touch-ups because I use a lot of setting powder and I use setting spray, which sets my makeup for the day, and I'll show you that. But it's nice because you can just throw it in your purse. It's not like liquid foundation where you can touch up with liquid foundation, right? It's easy to touch up if you needed it with powder. So here's what I recommend you do. Every woman, every girl has powder. I mean most, okay? I know someone's gonna comment, I don't have any. But most have powder. Get out your powder, get out the sponge, and do this technique. Some key things are gonna make a difference is primer. So if you haven't put primer on first, you may not get the coverage you want. And if you're not getting the coverage you want and you are using primer, then maybe try a different type of powder foundation. And that's where I can help you out. You can just message me and I'll color match you to the color that's gonna be perfect for you. Wow, see that? Powder. Make sure you get everywhere. My chin. Okay. Powder foundation. On. Done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, so I'm going to give you some extra tips for the under eye area. Those of you that don't use concealer underneath, you know how I put the concealer underneath? Maybe you don't have a lot of correcting to do on your face, a lot of redness, or maybe you just don't have time. Put the powder foundation on, but you want a little oomph for underneath your eye area. Use powder foundation in a shade, 2 shades lighter. So this is not 2 shades lighter. This one is. So this is velour. You could use it for your under eye. You could do the exact same thing. Watch. The exact same thing. I'm going to use my little sponge and just get my under eye. Check that out. Check that out. You could do the exact same thing and create that highlighted look underneath your eyes. Not your nose. Don't do your nose. Hello? I could actually go down the center of my nose if I wanted to. I mean, I could create a total highlighted effect using this little sponge and powder. Maybe we'll accentuate it over here. I didn't do a very good job blending over there. So I'm literally going obnoxious here. You don't have to do all this, okay? But I'm accentuating maybe a contour that I might do later. Ta-da! So that was powder, you guys. That was powder. You can create an amazing face with just powder if that floats your boat. I'm a liquid girl. I use liquid foundation mostly, but I wanted to show you that powder foundation works just as well for those of you that don't want to use liquid or in the summer months would like something that is a little bit more matte, okay? Hi, Denise. All right, so that was powder foundation. I wanted to show you step 2 of how to diffuse fine lines and wrinkles underneath your eyes. So I already showed you what I did in the very beginning, right? Here's step number 2. This is like the magic potion, okay? I mean, literally the magic potion for me. It is one of my top 5 products because of, like, if someone said you only have 5 products you can choose, this is definitely going to be in it. Always, always. In fact, I bought 2 extra recently as backups because I don't want to run out of this. It's magic potion. And it is called setting powder. And it's translucent and it's loose. Translucent setting powder, which means it has no color to it. But it is meant to diffuse fine lines and pores and to soften your makeup and give you a smooth look. Okay, it's meant for that. It's primarily what it's meant for. So this is how you use it. It comes loose and it's got a little screen there to help prevent too much coming out. You can use a puffy brush. So every girl's got a big puffy brush. I use this one and I'm going to use this end of it. There's also a small side and you'll see how I use that. And then I'll just take the fat end, I dip it in, okay? So you'll see some come on there. I'll tap off any excess. Are you ready? Are you really, 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 really ready? And I go in and I apply it on the bottom of my eyes. It's like incredible. It just softens the area and makes it look really smooth. It gives me life. It gives me life. And you could do other areas of your face. Hi, Jenna. You could do other areas of your face. If you wanted to soften other areas that you want to soften and diffuse. So sometimes like I need to soften the fine lines in my forehead, but underneath my eye area is my problem area. So I try to make it look soft and as smooth as possible. It also sets that area so that your makeup doesn't move. So it stays that way all day. So setting powder, life. So that was the second way. And I'm going to show you how to use setting powder too for your eyelids, but setting powder for smoothing out fine lines and wrinkles under your eyes is going to be step number 2 to the trick of making your under eye area look just unbelievable. All right, we're going to move on from here. We're going to move on to eyes. And I need some more coffee. All right, I told you we were going to do Confident Eyes, which is a shimmer light bronze. I'm also going to be adding in Defiant, which is a copper. And I'm also going to be using Hopeful, which is pink, like a light pink. Okay, but first we're going to put primer on the lids. You got to go to work. We'll watch replay later. Okay, Jenna, have a great day. All right, so I've got a little primer on my fingers, eye primer. So I'm using eye primer on my lids because eye primer, just like the primer I put on my face, is going to help prevent creasing. And also I want my eyeshadow sit on the surface of my eyelids and not seep into my eyelids. And I don't want it to move throughout the day. So when I put eye primer on, I kind of let that sit for a minute. And I like to do my brows, okay, before I go in and do my eyes. So I'll do my brows for you guys really quick, and then we're gonna go in and do our, where's my mirror? Right here. We do our eyelids. Like you're doing it with me. Maybe you are. Maybe you are. All right, I'm gonna use liner today. This is brow liner. This isn't a brow tutorial, so I'm gonna go kind of fast for you on the brows. Let's see if I have any liner left. Oh, I do. Some people do their brows first before they put foundation on. I don't like to have to like move around my brows when I put the foundation on. I like to just, as you saw. So, but there's no wrong way. There are no rules, you guys. Some people come out and say rules. There are recommendations and suggestions, and just so you know, they're always in that person's opinion. So in my opinion, I recommend you put your brows on after you've put on your foundation, okay? Whether you put them on before or after your eyes is totally up to you as well. I just like to kill time in between after I put my primer on, because you want your primer kind of just to set, because it is a cream based and you want it to dry. And I used 2 different colors for my brows. I used medium and dark. I'm starting to get hot. Let me turn my fan on. Hang on. Oh. Oh. Hello, brows. What a difference, hey? Eh? Like I'm from Canada? Eh? I have friends from Canada. I know Maggie will probably eventually be watching this. So hi, Maggie. From Canada. If you're watching right now, where are you? What state are you in? What country are you in? I have another friend, Maggie, that watches from Australia. So hi, Maggie from Australia. I've been to a lot of states throughout the US, but there's so many places that I haven't been that I want to get to, like specifically the East Coast. I've been to New York, but for work, so I haven't really experienced New York, you know, the way it should be. I really want to do that. I really, really, really want to go way up the East Coast to like Connecticut and Maryland and Delaware. That's what I really, really, really want to do. Ooh, it's thundering. All right, so my brows are on. I'm gonna set them with brow wax. I normally would use brow gel here, but I'm out. And I'm waiting for my brow gel to arrive. Along with my new mascara, people. We have new mascara, by the way. Did I fail to talk about that? We have new mascara called Epic. I cannot wait to show you. You can't get it right now. Well, you could. There's only one way to get it, but you can't order it right now off my website. It's not available on my website yet. But it's called Epic Mascara. It's one step. You've seen me do the 3-step 3D mascara. This is a 1-step mascara. And you know what? We have cornered the market for mascara. I mean, cornered it. We are mascara kings, okay? And we delivered again. 1 step. So I will be ordering it for my customers coming here soon. So if you are like, I heard about this mascara, I want that mascara. How do I get that mascara? You just need to message me. I'll get it for you, okay? Because it's not available yet. Not available yet, but I can get it for you. Okay, let's do the eyes. So I told you we are going to do Confident Eyes, which is a shimmer light bronze. I'm also going to be adding in Defiant and Hopeful on my lids. So this is just a fun little look. And we're going to start with Copper, which is Defiant. I'll show you again. Isn't that pretty? And I'm going to use a cream shadow brush. And that's a cream shadow, which dries to a powder finish. So cream shadow brush, cream shadow, going in and pulling the pigment on so you can see it you kind of see. And it's a little shimmery. It's really pretty. And then we're going to put this on. And I'm going right into the crease. And I'm going to pull it up above my crease too. Don't be afraid of this color. And as a matter of fact, you guys, it is a very popular color. It's a trending color right now. Hello, Marsha. Good morning. It's a trending color. Coppers and oranges right now are very trending and very, very hot, and look amazing on everyone. You're probably, some of you are like, I don't know about that. Trust me. Do you trust me? It's just how you put it and where you put it. So this is a great area to put it in. I'll show you. So it's got a slight shimmer to it. I've got my computer, my laptop, sitting right next to me because sometimes I can't see the comments on my phone, and I always feel so rude not responding to people. So I'm hoping that Facebook will show them to me on my laptop. All right. Hey. Hey. Look at it. So God, it's so, I mean, I probably say this all the time. It's so pretty. But it is. It's just creating art. It's art, people. I have to drink some more. I am going to come back and use that color under my eye area too, you guys. Hi, Kim. What's up, girl? So, all right. So that was Defiant. Now I'm going to come in and use Hopeful, which is pink. Okay. And I got to use the same brush. So I'm going to clean the brush off with a tissue. And we're going to put pink on right onto the lid. It's a really, really, it's called baby pink. That's the description of it. And it's just a pretty pink. Cream shadows, I don't know if I already said this, but they dry to a powder finish. So they are creamy when they go on, but they dry to a powder finish. And I use Defiant as a transition color in my crease. You'll see why, because we're going to go in with confidence and tie everything together. So there is Hopeful. Good morning. Oh my gosh. How am I going to say your name? You have to help me pronounce it. Zachtil? Zachtil. I'm so sorry if I murdered your name. It's pretty though. I just don't know how to pronounce it. Help me out. All right, Hopeful is on my lid. It's a really pretty pink. I'm going to put on liner first, okay? And then we're going to go in with confidence. So I'm going to use Perfect Liner, and I'm going to use it on the top and the bottom. And I'm also going to do a wing. So I'm going to pull my wing out. You always want to go up on a diagonal with your wing. Well, not always. In my opinion, if you want an eye lift, go up and out. And then I'm going to pull my black liner across my lid. Also, if you go into the under eye area, that also helps your eyelashes look thick. And it kind of ties everything in together. And then I'm going to fatten this wing and just pull it down a little bit. but I'm not going to be too freaked out if I have a straight line or not, because we're going to diffuse that with confident. It's so quiet when I do my eyes. I'm so concentrated. Like it's hard for me to talk. All right, here we go. First, I'm going to go back, like I said, and use Defiant for my under eye area. And I am going to use a small little crease brush. And I'm going to smudge out the black liner with Defiant, which is the copper. Oh, no music. I know, I'm scared. Somebody scared me, Terry. That if I used music, I would get put in Facebook jail because of copyright, laws. But also someone else said that I should put in my comments that if I put in there, I do not have the rights to this music, that I'd be okay. I didn't do that today. But I know, I need music. So smudging with Defiant. Wow. Yeah, that's probably right. Too many rules. Yeah. And I don't want to go to Facebook jail. And Facebook, when they put you in jail, they don't tell you how long you're going to be in there. I don't even like talking about it. Afraid that they're going to be like, oh, they're like, they constantly watch you. And I feel like if you talk and say bad things about them, they put you in jail anyways. Okay, wow, look at that. That was Defiant. Okay, so I got Defiant in the crease. I've got Hopeful on the lid, and you're probably thinking, I don't know about this look, Jackie. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's drink some coffee, and then I'll show you how it all comes together. Let's slurp some coffee. Confident, which is a shimmer matte, or a shimmer, not a shimmer matte, a shimmer light bronze. And here's where we tie it together. And I'm tapping some out. It's a loose mineral pigment. So here's the deal. Right now, it's July, our monthly kudos. We always have a monthly special going on. And the monthly kudos is get 6 colors, 6 eyeshadow colors of your choice, plus a liner shader brush. So you get a brush too for free. And it's only $59. It's normally $93. Okay? $93. But you only have to pay $59 and you get to choose the colors. Some of the colors are out of stock because this is a really popular kudos. Confident is one that is in stock. So it's a shimmer light bronze. I'm using a crease brush and I'm going to go right in and tie it all together. So I'm doing circular motions and going right into the crease. I'm not going to go all the way into the corner of the eye. I'll probably go back in with Hopeful to brighten it. But I am coming to the outside and I'm not pulling it all the way up. See how it kind of just is blended together with Defiant? So pretty. But I am going to go to the outside corner and then tie in my liner with Hopeful, the pink. So I'm just going to go down here and smudge my liner. Hi, Angela. Good morning. Now do you see how it comes together? Love. Now, and also, I don't know if you guys can see, but do you see how the outside corner here is kind of like not awesome? I'm going to show you how to clean that up. I never, ever really worry about the outside corner because I've got the best trick to clean up the outside corner so that you don't have to stress about it while you're putting your makeup on. And I learned that from another makeup artist. And I'm like, oh my gosh, best idea ever. Takes the stress out of putting makeup on. All right, so I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of Hopeful and do the inner corner, okay? Hi, Debbie. So I'm gonna go back in and just do the inner corner a little bit and make sure it's nice and bright. See how that brightens up right that inner corner area? Done with that. Ooh, I really like how the Confident tied it all together. All right, we're done with the shadow. Let me show you my trick on how to clean up the outside edges. I also am going to show you a brush, like my #1 favorite brush, okay? And it's not a brush you can get through me. You got to go to the department store and purchase it. It's called a MAC 224 brush. Favorite brush ever. And right now I'm just kind of wiping off anything that might be on there. I typically don't use this brush with shadows. Typically, not always. Reason being is that it's just an amazing blending brush. So when I go to the outside edges, I soften everything. So it kind of just makes it look like it's part of my face, sort of. You know what I'm saying, right? Soften, soften, soften. And then I'm going to show you my trick. So you want to clean up the outside edges. This is what you do. Remember when we used the concealer brush earlier? Get it back out. Do not put concealer on it, but don't wipe it off either. So you have some left on your brush. All you do is you take your brush to the outside corner of your eye and you swipe up. Look, and it totally just cleans up and sharpens up that edge. So you don't have to worry about making a mess over there. Some people use tape. Okay, in fact, I honestly, I don't even know why, but I don't even know why. It just caught my eye. I watched Kendall Jenner get her makeup put on. Is it Kendall or Kylie? Maybe it was Kylie. Which is the one with the really big fat lips? I think it's Kylie. I watched her makeup artist put her makeup on, and I think I was scrolling through Facebook, and like the first thing she does is put tape. Okay, I mean, she has full-on face, like full-on cake face as far as I'm concerned. She looks beautiful though. She's young, she's gorgeous, but whoa, the amount of makeup she has on. But she puts tape on, and they do that just so that you have sharp edges. I'll screw with the tape. Just use your concealer brush and swipe it up, and you're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to recap really quickly. Hi, Tanya, and then I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup, and I'll actually put a picture up for you, okay? So, how to diffuse fine lines and wrinkles to smooth out your under eye area. These are the steps or the products that will help you. First thing you want is Instant Lifting Serum. So that's what, can I see how you tap out the pigment? Oh yeah, Terry. So I'm using, just so you know, I'm using a sample. This is not the true size. Let me see, I'll show you a true size. This is true size. I'll use it on the true size one. Hang on. This, by the way, the sample I've had for over 3 years. So you will have this forever. So this is what you do. You just take the lid and then you tap it out. Like that. And loose mineral pigments, you can see there's some in there, is highly pigmented. So a little goes a long way. So you just tap it right out onto the lid. And then you put your brush in there. And sometimes when I put my brush in there, I'll do this. I'll put my brush in there, you know, put it in the pigment and then tap it on the side so so excess comes out off of the brush as well, because a little goes a long way. That's why these last forever. They're highly pigmented. They don't have the same ingredients as a compressed powder. So a compressed powder you use more of because it doesn't have the same properties, where loose mineral pigments are, honestly, they just don't use as much shit in them. Excuse my French. So you can get a more vibrant color from it. I like both, but compressed powder, like in your palettes, is just a little more convenient for some people. But that's how that works. Terry, I hope that answers your question. Okay, so diffusing fine lines. Aha, you're welcome. Diffusing fine lines and wrinkles under your eyes to smooth the under eye area. First thing I start with is instant lifting serum. So I wash my face, I put that on, I let it sit. It takes like, I don't know, a minute to dry, 2 minutes max. And what that does is it instantly does its work, okay? And so there is some ingredients in there that actually soften and smooth out the skin area. It's also got long-term effects in it. So you want it to absorb in your skin. So you want nothing on your face when you do that. And you will get long-term effects, meaning that it will help prevent the onset of more fine lines and wrinkles. I cannot get rid of what you have, but I can help minimize the appearance of what you have. And that's the magic. So you start with this. You start with that, okay? You let that dry. You put on your concealer, your moisturizer, okay? And then, of course, I went through the steps of how I applied my makeup, but the other step 2 to help minimize and diffuse. Can you hear that? That is my son's phone. And it's just a warning that there's probably a dust storm coming or flood warning. Have I ever done a photo shoot? Megan, I have several times. So photo shoot makeup is completely different, obviously, than this. But there are a lot of properties that are similar. But yes, Megan, I've done a photo shoot before many times. Okay, so then, and I've actually done makeup for people who've done photo shoots. So the other product for diffusing fine lines and wrinkles is going to be setting powder, which to me is like gold. I mentioned that if there are top 5 products, this would be right up there. I have backups of these because I never want to run out of my setting powder. And what that does is it instantly softens the area. It diffuses fine lines, wrinkles, and pores. So if you've got large pores, it helps diffuse that as well. So I taught that. I also taught you how to use compressed powder foundation to get max coverage. Okay, and how simple it is. So if you are someone who has oily skin or is in a hurry or doesn't like liquid foundation or just wants something fast, okay, powder foundation can give you max coverage. And then of course I showed you Confident Eyes. So I used Confident and a couple other colors on there, but Confident is what I'm showcasing because you can get 6, hi Colson. I was just looking at on Instagram, call some of you shooting in the shooting range, which I think is so cool. All right, so squirrel. You can get 6 colors of your choice. Okay, some are out of stock. It's one of our more popular. Kudos. Actually, I say that I think every month it's one of our more popular kudos. Just because of the deal, every month they go crazy. The kudos because it's such a deal. It's $93 normally to get 6 of those eyeshadows, and right now it's only $53, and they throw in a free brush. You get, and this is like a 2-in-1 brush. Okay, so you want to check out the products I used. Go to thicklonglashes.com. Just remember this though. Go to your makeup drawer and pull out what you have and try and use what you have already. Okay. If what you have isn't working for you or giving the result you want, then maybe try something new, and I'd be happy to introduce you to that. In the meantime, just use what you have and use the techniques that I teach. If you have questions or you need a color match or you need some help, just message me because that's what I do and that's what I love. So message me and I will help you. And of course, please share this video if you found value in this content and you think other people would as well. Okay, I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup. I'll put an after picture for you up, and you have an awesome Monday. You make it an awesome Monday.